Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's objective is to turn these couple slabs into some shelves for the kiddos. They're getting older, they're loving books, and they need somewhere to put them. So these pieces are from an ash tree that I took down not too long ago. Took it down during a storm, thought most of it wouldn't be worth doing anything with, but these pieces turned out pretty good. So that tree I thought was mostly going to be rotten and waterlogged and not worth much. But when you get higher in the tree, further away from the base of the trunk where it would have all that damage, it was actually pretty nice wood. That's why it's a bit smaller, even though it was a huge tree. These were probably 30 or 40 feet up in the air in that tree. This section still looked really nice, so I went ahead and milled it up. They've been drying here for at least a year, plus the tree was already dead, so they were already fairly dry. But we've got about 9 feet here to work with on each of these, and they're each about 10 inches wide down here. Some closer to 11. I think the longest point we've got here is about 13 inches for this slab here. But the plan is to go ahead and cut these probably into 4-foot sections for now, but eventually into 2-foot sections. Cut off a single straight edge on one side, and we'll keep the live edge on the other. They're fairly straight anyway, so that are going to work really well for a shelf. It's going to look pretty nice. Retaining some of that look, but keeping it in the back straight so it can be flush. We can push the books to the back and all that, so I think that's going to work out really well. And for the shelving unit, we're going to go ahead and use a metal frame that I just picked up. I could have made it fully out of wood, but we want these shelves a bit sooner, and really actually like the style of having the black metal with the finished wood slabs. Alright, so I've got the first slab loaded up here on the saw, and I found a scrap piece of wood here that's about the same width of the shelves that I'm trying to make. And so I've laid it on here, kind of adjusting until I could figure out maybe what the square cut will be on the end here to try and go ahead and get a first clean cut on that. So I used this 90-degree ruler here and butted it up against here. So that'll give me a pretty straight edge, but I'm still leaving a few inches in case there's issues on with planing it, or if I just need to adjust just a little bit more once I've made that full back cut. But I'm going to go ahead and get this cut, and we'll have our first little bit of shelf here. I'm using this level as a straight edge, so I've got it clamped down on each side. Measured enough space here that it should account for the edge that is on my circular saw here before the saw blade. And then that's clamped to the frame here on this old crate. So should give me plenty of stability as well as a nice straight edge. So let's get that cut. Alright, looks like I got that pretty close. So I could take it to the table saw, probably get an exactly perpendicular straight edge, but it looks pretty good. Definitely what I was going for here. Go ahead and get this bark off the old-fashioned way. These shelves are finally finished. We got them sanded up and put a couple coats of polyacrylic on them. We really like using the polyacrylic
because it works pretty well, but it also preserves a lot of that original color from the wood. So nice to really see what it originally looks like instead of adding a stain or trying to alter the color in any way. But I think these turned out really well. So all of them, we've got the notches cut out. This one wasn't as wide as the rest, and so we ended up actually removing the extra lip here that we've got on these other ones that wraps around the front post. And I think it'll work well as a top shelf. And then the rest of these are going to be all the lower shelves. And we'll go ahead and put those in there and let you see what this finally looks like. So to put these in, you just take the shelf at an angle like this and then slide it on down. And yeah, I think this looks really good. Pretty excited to put this up in the kids' room and get it covered in books. I think this turned out really well. If you guys think this is pretty cool and you want to see some of the other things we've made, be sure and check out this video next. Thanks for watching.